James, put some oil on it. It's a bit dry.
Fiddler, he's a runaway. Now, you understand that I cannot countenance that sort of behavior. You understand the word countenance?
James, your name is Toby. I want to hear you say it.
Kunta Kinte.
When the master gives you something, you take it. He gave you a name. It's a nice name. It's Toby. And it's going to be yours till the day you die. Now, I know you understand me, and I want to hear it. Again!
What? You thought I wasn't going to talk about one of the greatest setups of my generation? Come on now. Welcome to another episode. Yeah, you know we talking about the greatest setup. Greatest setup of the 2000s. And I ain't talking no Juvia Cash Money either. You know what I'm saying? This one here definitely make you want to back up. At least back up your way of thinking. See, check this out. The great setup. Now, some people don't think it was a setup. Me personally, I'm like anybody with a half a brain can see this was a setup. Don't be offended. Take that personal. It is what it is. Now, for 7 months, the NFL did not contact Colin Kaepernick, did not have nothing to say to Colin Kaepernick. Them or their people or their representatives, nobody. So now all of a sudden, out the blue, they want to talk to Colin Kaepernick, have an audition for him. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm lying. Because I said out the blue. It wasn't out the blue. Last month, Kaepernick reminded them how they haven't contacted him and that they were supporting the lies that were being put out saying that he had turned down offers. So Kaepernick put out the receipts. He put out the proof that he never turned down any offers, that he hasn't even got any offers. He showed the paperwork how he had been reaching out to teams, telling teams that he was willing to work out for them, and he did not turn any teams down. He was willing to work out for anybody, and not one NFL team returned his calls. So what happens? Last week happened. NFL calls Colin Kaepernick on a Tuesday. It says, hey, we got a workout for you this Saturday in Atlanta at the Falcons Arena. So, where's the problem? Well, let's see. One problem, they call him on a Tuesday and tell him they want him to work out on a Saturday, which Saturday is not a normal workout day, and the normal people who would be at a workout are not going to be there, just representatives of the representatives. Second, they weren't going to tell him who was going to be there and what people he would be training with and who was going to even work, and who was going to facilitate the workout. Then last of all, they wanted him to sign a waiver or a contract that no one else has ever had to sign before. And this is the funny thing. A lot of conspiracy theorists and Colin Kaepernick haters, whatever, they saying that the waiver was the same. Even the NFL said the waiver was the same. But the NFL forgot that there are people out there whose job is to investigate lies. So, of course, people quickly found the waiver that the NFL usually gives and compared it to the waiver that they wanted to give Colin Kaepernick. And the crazy part is that NFL's own lawyers that has worked with NFLs before on their behalf, has even took Colin Kaepernick's side, saying that if Kaepernick was their client, they would have told him they would also told him rather not to sign that contract because the contract was bogus. The contract was pretty much him giving away all his rights, which he shouldn't have to do, right? So the NFL knew what they was doing, right? Hence the great setup, all right? So talking about this setup, we need to talk about some key figures, right? So let's talk about a chess, right? So let's talk about chess, right? We all knew this was chess, not checkers. And in chess, there's a move called a King's Gambit. Pretty much where you kind of let your pawn run wild, knowing that he's going to get his head chopped off because you got a backup plan while your pawn is just out there, you know, kind of like just being a pawn, right? Kind of like President Trump does a lot. He runs a lot of King Gambits where he uses like his spokespeople to be the pawns and to keep people distracted while he's got other plans going, right? So the NFL ran the King's Gambit, right? And this main pawn they used was JayZ. They put JayZ out front, right? To get everybody's, you know, focus off the king. All right. So JayZ, who feeling, and this let me say this here. This hasn't been proven. This is all rumor. But to me, this is one rumor that actually kind of lines up with we seen what was going on, right? So JayZ been catching a lot of flack, and don't get me wrong, I'm a JayZ supporter. I like JayZ working on the NFL because, you know, you can't talk about what's going on at the table if you ain't willing to sit at the table. You know what I'm saying? So JayZ is trying to sit at the table to have an effect of what goes on at the table. Excuse me. And so he got a lot of flack when he decided to sit at the table because in the past he has been aligned with supporting with Kaepernick. And some people felt that him sitting at the table was him out of line with Kaepernick. Me personally, I don't think it was. I just think it was two people going about the same fight in different manners. So anyway, moving along. JayZ is rumored to be in the background making moves to kind of nudge the NFL, you know, to schedule a workout for Colin Kaepernick, right? And this is all hearsay, so I don't know if it's true or not, but it does line up, you know what I'm saying? Because JayZ reportedly was pissed off when Colin Kaepernick's workout didn't go as planned, right? And so JayZ, right? JayZ was a pawn because the NFL, being the king, running the King's Gambit, put Colin Kaepernick in checkmate. They gave him a situation where it was a lose-lose for him. If Colin Kaepernick would have took the Saturday workout and worked out at the NFL facility that the NFL wanted with their rules, he probably still wouldn't have got an NFL job. And it just probably would have killed, it would have ended his career anyway. So unfortunately, Colin tried to run his own King's Gambit, which it didn't work out for him. But it did give him just more press, right? And gave him a chance to call the NFL out again, which the NFL doesn't care if he calls him out because he's called him out on several occasions, and look where it's got him. You know what I'm saying? It got him a fake workout, a facade. A workout that was only put in place for the NFL to put him in checkmate, which they did. Even though he didn't take their workout, it still put him in checkmate. Just like in chess, when you might have like a, what do you call it? Like say the bishop just somewhere chilling in the background, you don't even pay no attention to him, and you see the knight dancing around over here messing with your king. While that knight is messing with your king, he's making your king make moves to put himself in checkmate. And that's exactly what the NFL did with Colin Kaepernick. They put Colin Kaepernick in a situation where his only move he could make was going to put himself in checkmate. If he went to the workout at the NFL facility, checkmate. He scheduled his own workout, checkmate. No matter what move Colin made, it was checkmate. They got him. Unfortunately, I think, I don't think Colin, this is it. I think this is it. The last hurrah for Colin. I think his chances are definitely over, which I thought his chances were slim, but I think his chances was definitely over as far as him ever touching the NFL field again, for sure. after last weekend. Now, in the opening intro to this video, I used Kunta Kinte's story from the movie Roots, right? Because at his workout, Colin Kaepernick wore a Kunta Kinte t-shirt, right? Now, the irony of Colin Kaepernick wearing that Kunta Kinte t-shirt is crazy. Because Colin Kaepernick, let's keep it real, he wore that Kunta Kinte t-shirt for the same reason President Trump wears a MAGA hat at all his rallies. He knows that it's a symbol, something that his people will get behind, and it's going to embolden them and hype them up. So Colin was just hyping up his people by wearing that Kunta Kinte t-shirt. But little did Colin know that him wearing that Kunta Kinte t-shirt actually was prophetic in a way. And I know people think I'm crazy by calling Kunta Kinte t-shirt prophetic. But just look at it this way. The whole scene, the most memorable scene of Kunta Kinte is when Kunta Kinte was getting whipped. And the reason Kunta Kinte got whipped is because the slave owner told him his name is now Toby. And he was going to beat Kunta Kinte till he submitted and said his name was Toby. But Kunta Kinte didn't want to say his name was Toby. He wanted to say what his given born name was, Kunta Kinte. The slave owner beat him into submission to where he finally said, my name is Toby, right? The slave owner hence imposing his will, reminding Kunta Kinte who was boss. That's all it was about. Him beating Kunta Kinte was just to remind him who was boss. This NFL scheduled workout was the NFL reminding Colin Kaepernick who was boss. It reminded JayZ who was boss. JayZ pressured them to help get Colin a workout. NFL showed JayZ, yeah, we gonna give him a workout, all right. Thank you, Jay. We used his workout to checkmate him. So now they showed JayZ that, look, you know why you're here. Don't forget why you're here. We still run this. They showed Colin, we still run this. Now, in the opening intro, I did include President Trump. Now, Trump had nothing to do with this workout. But what Trump does have something to do is with the NFL and the owners not wanting to let Colin Kaepernick back on the field. Now, we already know one reason why they want to let him back on the field. But another reason also is because they know that Trump, who is the master of distraction, that is what Trump does best. He's the master of the King's Gambit. He's always putting some pawn out there or some story out there to distract from what he's really trying to do. And right now, he's trying to get from underneath these impeachment hearings. So for him, he needs a story to get him from in front of these impeachment hearings. What better story if Colin Kaepernick would have actually got a slight chance to get back in the NFL? Just like last time when Colin was trying to get back in the NFL, Trump doing what he does, getting people off of what was going on with him at the time, used Kaepernick as a distraction, getting the people all riled up. So Trump, being the master distractionist, would have again used this situation in his benefit. So that's definitely one reason why the NFL don't want Colin Kaepernick back in the league, because as long as Trump is in office, it would be good for the NFL. Now, I know that's going to sound crazy, but if you really think about it, it's not as crazy as it sounds. And so, where are we now? That I cannot answer. Colin Kaepernick, he still has deals with Nike and he still has his organization, so he's still going to do his work. And I applaud him for doing his work. Unfortunately, Colin Kaepernick, like a lot of people that came before him who spoke out against racism, has met the defeat of the king. Martin Luther Jr. felt the wrath of the king. Malcolm X felt the wrath of the king. Medgar Evers felt the wrath of the king. Countless others felt the wrath of the king. Even a nobody like Matassa Davis felt the wrath of the king. Anyone who's ever spoken out against racism has felt the wrath of the king and lost something. So Colin, welcome to the crew. You have lost more than some, but you still have a lot going for you, which is good, and you still have a lot of people you can help. So I salute you, my brother. Power to you, and I hope that you keep doing what you're doing, helping people and making awareness, fighting racism head on. Now, on the flip side, here's something that's perfect irony. Donald Trump and Colin Kaepernick actually has two big things in common. They both sued the NFL and won, and they both got pimp slapped by the NFL. The NFL pimp slapped President Trump by colluding against him and not allowing him to ever own an NFL team after his many attempts of trying. The NFL pimp slapped Colin Kaepernick by colluding against him by not allowing him to ever play in an NFL game again. Isn't that ironic? The two people who you think has nothing in common have a lot in common. They both been pimp slapped by the NFL, and they both won their lawsuits against the NFL. Imagine that. Oh well. Once again, we got to witness the greatest setup of our generation. Hopefully it's the last. Deuces.